Hello students, myself Virendra Kumar Maurya, Associate Professor, Department of Electrical Engineering, School of Engineering, Babu Banarsi Das University, Lucknow. I welcome all of you in this video lecture. Please see this lecture thoroughly from beginning to end. I have covered so many important topics in this video, like single phase transformer, auto transformer, and their applications. Now please see the board. Students, today my topic is single phase transformer. Now see the diagram first. Yes, this one is the diagram for single phase transformer. This one is known as the core. Two windings are wound over here. One is primary winding and other one is secondary winding. With the primary winding, source is connected over here, alternating source, and load is connected with the secondary winding. Due to the alternating nature of this voltage, alternating flux is set up in the core. Due to this alternating flux, two EMFs are induced, E1 and E2. Now see the notations. One is used for the primary and 2 is used for the secondary, I1 and I2. These are the primary and secondary currents. N1 and N2, these are the primary and secondary number of turns in the coil. B1 and B2 are the primary and secondary voltages. E1 and E2, these are the primary and secondary EMFs. Phi is known as the magnetic flux and L as load. Definition: a transformer is a static AC machine used usually either for rising or lowering the voltage of an AC supply with a corresponding decrease or increase in current. This is all about the definition. Now the principle. The operating principle of a transformer is based on mutual inductance between two coils wound on the same core. Now see the working. When an alternating voltage V1 is applied to the primary, an alternating flux is set up in the core. This alternating flux links both the windings and induces EMF E1 and E2 in them, according to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction. According to the Faraday's law of electromagnetic induction, E1 is proportional to minus d phi upon dt. So E1 is equal to minus N1 d phi upon dt. Similarly, E2 is proportional to minus d phi upon dt and E2 is equal to minus N2 d phi upon dt. Yes, now see the ratio, that E2 upon E1 is nothing but N2 upon N1. Now see the cases. Case first for the step-up transformer. In the case of step-up transformer, N2 is more than the N1 and E2 is more than the E1. That's why it is called step-up. In the case of the step-down transformer, N2 is less than N1. That's why E2 is less than E1. So it is called step down. Now some point of discussion. Number 1. The transformer action is based on the laws of electromagnetic induction. Second, it is a static device. Third, there are no moving parts. Fourth, It transforms magnetic energy into the electrical energy. Fifth, it is used for step up or step down. Sixth, two windings are used named as primary and secondary windings. Seventh, there is no electrical connection between the primary and secondary windings. Number 8, it is based on mutual induction between the two coils. Number 9, the AC power is transferred from primary to secondary through magnetic flux. Number 10, there is no change in the frequency, that is, output power has the same frequency as the input power. And 11th, the losses that occurs in a transformer are known as core loss and copper loss. In core losses, and see the 11th, and now see the 11th one. The losses that occurs in a transformers are now see the 11th. The losses that occur in a transformer are number 1, core losses, number 2, copper losses. In core losses, eddy current and hysteresis losses. In copper losses, it is the resistance of the winding, right? There is a loss due to the resistance of the windings. Now the next one is the EMF equation of the transformer. An alternating voltage V1 is applied to the primary. The sinusoidal flux is produced, right? When an alternating voltage V1 is applied to the primary, a flux is set up in the core, that is alternating flux. Its equation is phi equal to phi maximum sin omega t, and E1 is minus N1 d phi upon dt. Now I am going to put the value of phi over here. This is the value of phi. We are going to put this value over here. It becomes E1 is equal to minus N1 d. In the place of phi, it is phi maximum sin omega t divided by dt. After the differentiation, it becomes E1 is equal to minus N1 phi maximum omega into cos omega t. Now I am going to change this cos omega t into the function of sine. It becomes E1 is equal to N1 phi maximum omega is 2 pi f into sine omega t minus 90, right? This minus sign and cos omega t is converted as sine omega t minus 90. And this portion is the maximum value. So it is EM1. E1 is equal to EM1 maximum 1 into sine omega t minus 90. Right? What is the value of EM1? EM1 is equal to N1 phi maximum into 2 pi f. Now see the RMS value of that. So the RMS value of 1 is equal to maximum divided by under root 2. Right? Put this value, that is the maximum 1. It becomes N1 phi maximum 2 pi f divided by root 2. Right? We know that it is 2, pi is nothing but 3.14, f is nothing but 50 divided by root 2, that is 1.414. After the solution, it becomes 4.44 N1 into phi maximum. This is the ERMS 1. Similarly, ERMS 2 is 4.44 N2 into phi maximum. Right? What is the conclusion? See these two equations very carefully. ERMS 1 divided by N1 and ERMS 2 divided by N2. These two are equal to the 4.44 into phi maximum. Right? Therefore, induced EMF per turn in the primary as well as in the secondary is same. Now the next one is power losses in transformer. Different types of losses in transformer. There are two types. One is known as the core losses. It is also known as iron losses. Second one, copper losses. It is also known as winding losses. Right? Now see the first one, that is the core loss. These consist of hysteresis and eddy current losses and occur in core due to the alternating flux. Right? Core loss is related with the hysteresis loss and eddy current losses. Now the second one, these losses occur in both primary and secondary windings due to their ohmic resistance. Right? Whatever the value of the resistance of the primary winding or in the secondary winding, whatever the loss due to this resistance is known as the winding losses, or you say copper losses. There are typical formulas given for the copper loss and given for the hysteresis and eddy current losses. The total losses in a transformer is given by Pi plus Pc. Pi, I for the iron, C for the copper. So total losses in a transformer is equal to total iron losses plus total copper losses, Pi plus Pc. Now the next one is efficiency of a transformer. Transformer is one of the device in electrical, right, which has maximum efficiency. Efficiency is defined as a ratio of output power to input power. Whatever the ratio in between output power to input power, that ratio is known as the efficiency of a transformer. So this is the formula. Efficiency is equal to output power divided by input power. Now I'm going to break input power as output power plus losses, and this formula become look like this. Efficiency is equal to output power divided by output power plus losses. If we multiply this formula by 100, it means that output power into 100 divided by output power plus losses, then it become percentage efficiency. Although the formula for the efficiency of a transformer is efficiency equal to output power divided by input power, but in the case of the transformer, time of operation is one of the necessary factor. So we are going to change this formula as a all day efficiency. See, all day efficiency of a transformer, it is defined as a ratio of output power in kWh to input power in kWh of a transformer over a period of 24 hours is known as all day efficiency, and it is denoted by eta all day. Formula: all day efficiency is equal to kWh output power in 24 hours, kWh input power in 24 hours. Now the next one is the voltage regulation. What is the definition? The voltage regulation of a transformer is the arithmetic difference between no load secondary voltage and secondary voltage on load, expressed as percentage of no load voltage. Right? That's why the percentage voltage regulation is equal to difference of no load to full load secondary voltage to ratio of no load voltage. Right? See, this one is the no load voltage, this one is the full load voltage. This is the difference in between the no load to full load, and this one is the no load voltage at secondary. The ratio of these two is known as the percentage voltage regulation. Is auto transformer. An auto transformer has a single winding on an iron core, and a part of winding is common to both the primary and secondary circuits. In auto transformer, primary and secondary windings are connected electrically as well as magnetically. Therefore, power is transferred to the secondary conductively as well as inductively. Now see the diagram here. This one is the core, single core is here, right, on which winding is wound. This one is a winding, single winding is over here, and a part of this as a secondary winding and another part of this as a primary winding. So secondary circuit is directly connected with the primary one, right? There is direct connection, direct electrical connection in between primary and secondary. So energy is transferred from primary to secondary by conductively as well as inductively. From this part to this part is known as the primary, and from this to this is known as the secondary. Here number of turns in the primary is more as compared to the secondary, so it is known as step down auto transformer. What is called auto? Because windings are common. This one is a step down. Higher voltage is, we are going to convert a high voltage into a low voltage. Now see the second circuit. This one is the core, in which this portion is belongs to the primary and this portion is belongs to the secondary. There is a direct electrical connection, B1 N1 for the primary, N2 B2 for the secondary. Now these two diagram at a time. This one for the step down, this one for the step up. Step down auto transformer, this one is step up auto transformer. Now we are taking here step down transformer. This one is a primary, this one is a secondary. B1 N1 I1 for the primary, B2 I2 N2 for the secondary. See, we are taking the ratio. It is B2 divided by B1 minus B2 equal to N2 divided by N1 minus N2. After the cross multiplication, it becomes B2 in bracket N1 minus N2 equal to N2 in bracket B1 minus B2. After this, it is B2 N1 minus B2 N2 equal to N2 B1 minus N2 B2. This portion is cancelled out with each other. After that, it is B2 N1 equal to N2 B1. Right? Now, B2 upon B1 is equal to N2 upon N1. And this ratio is nothing but K. Right? We know that in the case of transformer, voltage is inversely proportional to the current. As the value of the voltage increases, in the same way, value of the current decreases. That's why B2 upon B1 is equal to I1 upon I2. And finally, we get a relation in between voltage, number of turns and current. That is B2 upon B1 equal to N2 upon N1 equal to I1 upon I2. Right? B1 I1 is equal to B2 I2. This is all about the voltage, current and number of turns. Now see the advantages of auto transformer. Number one is an auto transformer requires less copper than a two winding transformer of same rating. Why it is so? Because in auto transformer there is a single winding, right? There is no need of another winding. That's why less copper is required. An auto transformer operates at a higher efficiency than a two winding transformer of the same rating. Why the efficiency is high in the case of auto transformer? There is a simple reason. Losses. In the case of auto transformer, there are small losses, but in the case of the two winding transformer, there are more losses, right? Due to the loss in leakage flux. But Here the windings are electrically coupled, so the probability of the losses is less. Third one is an auto transformer has better voltage regulation than a two winding transformer of the same rating. Yes, why it is voltage regulation is better? Because the difference in between no load to full load is very less. No load to full load voltage at secondary is very less. Now the fourth one, an auto transformer has smaller in size than a two winding transformer of the same rating. Why it is so? Smaller in size, right? Whatever the core used in auto transformer is less as compared to the two winding transformer. That's why its size is also small. Fifth one, an auto transformer requires a smaller excitation current than a two winding transformer. It is simple because primary and secondary are directly coupled, directly electrically coupled. Now see the disadvantages of auto transformer. There is direct connection between the primary and secondary. Yes, this one is a disadvantage because secondary is directly connected, directly electrically connected with the primary. Second one is an auto transformer is not safe for stepping down a high voltage to a low voltage, right? Why it is so? Stepping down is very dangerous in the case of auto transformer. Why it is so? Because secondary winding is electrically coupled with the primary, directly electrically coupled with the primary. Third one, the short circuit current is much larger than a two winding transformer of the same rating. Yes, simply because they are directly coupled. Now the applications of auto transformer. Auto transformers are used to compensate for the voltage drops in transmission and distribution lines as a booster transformer, right? Auto transformer is used as a booster transformer to compensate voltage drops in transmission and distribution lines. Second, an auto transformers are used for reducing the voltage supplied to a AC motor during the starting period. Yes, in the laboratory, auto transformers are used to reduce the supply voltage at the time of starting. Third one, auto transformers are used for continuously variable supply. This is one of the most important use of auto transformer. It is used as a barrier, or you say variable voltage supply, continuously variable supply. And the fourth one, in the laboratory for the different experiments, yes, we can use auto transformer in the different experiments in the laboratory. According to the question, N1 it is 1000, N2 it is 500, and resistance in the secondary circuit is 5 ohm, and primary voltage, that is V1, is 100 volt, right? Calculate B2, I1 and I2. These are the data for this question. First of all, calculate K, that is N2 divided by N1. K is known as the transformation constant. It is 500 divided by 1000, it becomes 1 upon 2. And K is also equal to the B2 divided by V1. V1 is given to you. We can calculate the secondary voltage, that is V2. It is K times of V1, 1 upon 2 into 100, which is nothing but 50 volt. Now I2, that is the current in the secondary circuit, is nothing but voltage divided by resistance. Voltage is 50 volt, resistance is 5, so the current is 10 ampere. Now the current in the primary circuit, that is I1 upon I2 is equal to K. I1 equal to K times of I2, it is 1 upon 2 into 10, that is nothing but 5 ampere. Right? Now see B2 is this one, which is 50 volt. I1 is this one, which is 5 ampere, and I2 is this one, that is 10 ampere. So this is the solution of example number 1. Now see the next question. It is given to you that 2200 divided by 250 volt, 50 hertz single phase transformer. Right? Net cross sectional area of core is 36 centimeters square. Maximum flux density, which is V maximum, it is given to you 6 Weber per meter square. Calculate number of turns in the primary and secondary, N1 and N2. Yes, according to the EMF equation, E1 is equal to 4.44 N1 F phi maximum. Right? It is 2200 is equal to 4.44 into N1 into 50 hertz into phi. Phi is nothing but B into A. Multiplication of these two is known as the phi maximum. So it is 36 into 10 to the power minus 4 into 6. Right? So the value of N1 2200 whole divided by 4.44 into 50 into 0.0216. Finally it is 459. Similarly, N2 is equal to E2 divided by 4.44 F into phi maximum. After putting the data, that is 150 divided by 4.44 into 50, 0.0216, and it is 52. So the number of turns in the primary and secondary are 459 and 52. I'm repeating over here. This is the EMF equation, right? This is only the equation by which we can calculate the value of N1 and N2, because voltages are given over here with frequency of the single phase transformer. That's why E1 is this one 2200 and this one 250 is the E2, right? Once this equation belongs to the primary, so 2200 is over here equal to 4.44 number of turns frequency into phi. Phi is the multiplication of B into A. Bm is the flux density, which is 6 Weber per meter square, and A is the area. Area is 36 centimeters square, so it is 36 into 10 to the power minus 4. Now it is in meter square. Okay, that's why the value of N1 is equal to 2200 divided by 4.44 into 50 into multiplication of this one, that is a 0.0216. It is finally 459. So similarly N2 is 52. Now see the next question. An ideal transformer is here with rating of 25 kVA, 25 kVA transformer. Number of turns in the primary, that is N1 is 500 and N2 is 40, right? EMF at the primary side, it is 3000 volt and the frequency is 50 hertz, right? This is the data which is given in the question. Now calculate primary and secondary currents at full load, I1 and I2. Second part, secondary EMF, that is E2, and the third one is the maximum core flux, that is phi. Now see the solution. N2 upon N1, which is nothing but transformation constant, which is 40 divided by 500, it is 4 upon 50, and volt ampere rating, that is 25 into 10 to the power 3 is equal to V1 I1. So I1 is equal to 25000 divided by V1, that is 3000. After the solving, it is 8.33 ampere, and the formula I2 is equal to I1 upon K. I1, that is 8.33 divided by K. K is 4 divided by 50 and it is 104.2 ampere. This is our first part, right? According to the first part, I1 and I2 are required. Here this one is the value of I1, that is 8.33, and 104.2 ampere is the value of I2. Now see the second part, that is E2. Now the second part, E2 upon E1 is nothing but transformation constant. So the value of E2 is K times of E1, K, which is 4 upon 50 into E1, that is 3000. After the solving, it is 250 volt, right? The value of the E2, this one, is 240 volt. Now the third part. According to the EMF equation, that is E1 is equal to 4.44 F into phi maximum into N1. Phi maximum is equal to E1 upon 4.44 frequency into N1. It is 3000 upon 4.44 into frequency, that is 50 Hertz, into number of turns in the primary, it is 500. After the solving, maximum flux is 27 into 10 to the power minus 3, that is 27 milliweber, right? Now see the third part, that is the maximum flux. Maximum flux is 27 milliweber.